Hey there, Seb Fry here with another exciting episode of It's a Seb Show. So today, for maybe the first time ever in my long and storied career as a realtor, someone threatened to kick my ass. That's right, he literally threatened to kick my ass. I was up at a property, I was there to do some inspections on the property, and a tenant who had moved out went and changed the locks on the property, which he didn't have access to the empty home anymore. It's a long story, long story. And his dad was waiting in the car guarding the house while the tenant was away doing something, I don't know. So for like half hour, 45 minutes, we're just sort of standing around outside, and the tenant wasn't showing up, and I suggested to the buyer, well, hey, listen, maybe we should just drill out the lock and get access to the property, because hey, the tenant is not allowed to disallow the seller or the seller's representatives, which would be me, access to the property. And so the dad was there, and he threatened to kick my ass if I opened the property with a drill or whatever. So interesting. So it's funny, I got out my camera and I started filming him. I was like, what'd you say? It was kind of like that's what everybody does these days. Whenever any hostility is maybe gonna commence, you gotta like get out there and film it, right? So anyway, so I'm not the listing agent, by the way. I'm just the buyer's agent. And so I tried to get a hold of the listing agent, and I said, hey, there's a guy right here who just threatened to kick my ass if I try to get into the property, which you and your client, the seller, authorized me to go in to perform these inspections. And so what happened is that the agent called the sheriff, and so the sheriff came out. A couple of armed sheriffs came out there, and they were talking to the guys, and they let us into their property. They say they were always going to let us into their property, which is strange because they were not letting us into their property. Anyway, pretty hairy situation, and the tenants and their family, they had like 5 or 6 people out there. They were just standing around for hours and hours and hours while we did all these inspections. It was crazy times. And I've had some other crazy times in real estate for sure. I've been around the sheriffs a number of times in different situations or different houses. But this was unusual because no one's actually personally ever threatened my physical form before. So today's a special day. I was talking to my client, and he goes like, hey, Seb, weren't you telling me that just when you think you've seen it all, something new happens? And that is true. That's the one thing about this business is that, there's something new always happening. No matter how many years you've been in it, no matter how many hundreds of homes you've sold, there's always something new because, this real estate business, it's really a people business. It's not so much about the houses. Obviously, that's what's being bought and sold and leased and whatnot. But what it's really about, it's really a people business, which is why I tell people, hey, I'm not so concerned about me being replaced by like an app or a website or like an artificial intelligence of some kind, because this kind of situations that I was involved in today, and which I will be involved with for several more days at the very least, and probably, what do you want to bet, right up until close of escrow, I'm going to be dealing with this, is not something that an app or an artificial intelligence, at this point anyway, is going to really be able to effectively handle, right? I mean, like, the truth of the matter is that real estate is a crazy business. It's a messy business. Not everything fits into a checkbox, right? So, yeah, that was my day today. How was your day? All right, well, I'm done sharing. I just wanted to get that off my chest, and I thought it might make a halfway interesting episode of It's a Seb Show. So, all right, thank you so much for watching. It's a Seb Show. Do me a favor, give me a thumbs up, give me a like, give me a comment, give me a share. That would be awesome. And you know what? I will have another episode up again before too long.